Well, hello there. Good morning. Welcome to Back of the Cereal Box, the virtual rec room. I am the host, the prophet of pop culture, John Pica. You can call me Johnny. And this morning, we've got two very special guests on with us, Ryan Permisson and George Buehler. And we are going to be talking about who or what are the Mighty Orbots, and a recap with DBRT and ICCC. And we're going to do that right now.
Hits like Coca-Cola, Levi Strauss, Johnny Carson and Mickey Mouse. The first star was James Dean, Elvis Presley, and he's still the king. Some things are only imitatable. You can't beat an original. Oh, you can't beat an original.
Hey there, friends and foes. Welcome to Back of the Cereal Box. This episode is brought to you by Hitchhiker Toys in White House, Tennessee. And our theme song is performed by the Murdering Crows. Get their record, 4 Bad Crows, at Amazon, Google, Apple Music, wherever you buy music. And of course, while you're on the interwebs searching for cool product, pick up my new book, One Night at the Roxy, Volume 2 of Tales of the Decoverse, and while you're there, get the League of Impossibilists comic and Nightreich. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you get books. And we want to thank our super fans, Sharice Collins, Sydney Kep, Brian Huff, Dave Maginelli, Dave Mattingly, Crystal Raven-Jones, Eli Cash, and your name can be in lights too at buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. Well, welcome to the virtual rec room, everybody. I am your host, the prophet of pop culture, John Pica. You can call me Johnny. And please welcome into the rec room my co-host, my broadcast partner of over 10 years. She is an actress, model, photographer, the incomparable D. Frickin' Barty.
I love that introduction.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, Dee, you and I are going to be talking, we're going to be doing a recap of ICCC Con.
Okay.
The triple C's. That's what I'm going to do from now on.
Is it 3? I think it's like 5 every time
it stands for Imperial Commissary Collector Con.
Oh, okay.
Imperial Commissary Collector Con.
There's no way I'll remember that.
So there's
ICCC works.
It's ICCC. That's the sign.
I like it.
Anyway, speaking of signs, I don't know if this is a good sign or a bad sign. This could be epic or an epic failure, because in the rec room with us is the man who needs no caffeine. He's got 2 speeds. Go and go faster. He is the host of Nerd Culture. Please welcome Ryan Permisson. Good morning,
Thank you very much
sir.
for having me. That was a great introduction. I like that. Yeah. And the whole
Sounds on fire this
ICCCC thing, no one's going to remember that starting in like 5.6 seconds. But you know what? Doesn't matter. I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for having me. It's, being kind of the new kid here, part of the Back of the Cereal Box crew with the Comic Books, the new class with my sister Crayley, which has been fantastic so far. So yeah, this is going to be a blast, guys.
Yeah. I'm excited to have you here this morning, Ryan. And also meet the newest member of the Back of the Cereal Box family. He had his debut show on our network, the Fanatic Forum. He is the Fanatic, hailing from parts unknown, weighing in at 205 pounds. It's George Buehler. It's George Buehler.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
God.
Please don't clap, just throw money.
Just for
Oh.
money. That's awesome.
Well,
Thank you.
everybody, welcome to the Rec Room. And for those of you who are or are not watching, normally we have comments by now, but we don't have any comments. We do have a chat that you guys can contribute. You can post in the chat, become a part of the show. Mr. Permission, you must not be sharing this episode. We got to get this shared out. So everybody jump on Facebook real quick and share it out while we're online. Make sure your volume is turned down so that we don't hear it on the show. And we'll get some folks watching. This is unusual. Normally we have 10 or 15 comments by now.
What?
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know what? I think we used up all of our audience equity with your debut show last night, George. I'm just gonna blame you.
Oh, well, I am wearing the Weird Al shirt, so maybe I jinxed us, somewhere. So,
So has that movie come out yet?
Not yet. The trailer just came out, and it's like a little teaser, like a little minute-long teaser.
I need to watch that because I'm not sure I'm sold on Daniel Radcliffe being Weird Al.
I have a great theory because the trailer is highly misleading to the truth.
Okay.
I have a feeling this will be the most greatly misunderstood movie in cinema history because the majority of people are not going to be Weird Al fans and they're not going to get the joke that this is a parody of biopics about rock stars.
It's a parody about a parody artist. That's funny.
Because Radcliffe, though he has he's got the wig, he's got the glasses, he's got the mustache, he's got the look, he doesn't sound like Weird Al. There's several times where he appears shirtless. That never happened. Also, he's ripped like a superhero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's all very, very interesting.
That's just a taste. I analyze this trailer like the Zapruder film, just looking for stuff. So I'm looking very forward to this movie. I have a feeling, being a devotee of the man, this is going to be great, but it's going to be greatly misunderstood as well.
Well, that's spectacular. So for those of you who are just tuning in, wondering what in the world is going on, we are Back in the Cereal Box. We're called Back in the Cereal Box because I am of a generation, and I think, George, you're right here with me, where we did not have iPhones or iPads at the breakfast table on Saturday mornings while we were sitting down with cartoons and comic books and kaiju and kung fu movies. We were reading the back of the cereal box. And so I have to ask the very first question this morning, what's in the bowl? And George, you brought your Golden Grams, the retro recipe.
Good choice.
It is a good choice. I've got my chocolate caramel Captain Crunch. And George, does Golden Grams have anything interesting on the back? Oh,
yeah. Remember the 80s.
Oh,
because if you're going to remember, Golden Grams had an original recipe before it was destroyed by corporate shilling. Then you will remember such things as videotapes, a guitar, breakdancing. Though I don't remember. I don't quite remember that move.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Headbanging to your favorite hair.
Electro Boogaloo.
Now I do remember this right here, head to toe spandex. Yeah.
Oh yeah. DBRT, did you wear any head to toe spandex?
Well, let's see. I was born in the 80s, so no.
Yeah. You're not allowed to talk anymore. DBRT, what's in your bowl? What do you got?
So I got to tell you this. So you left this here last week.
Yes, I did.
Did you do it on purpose?
No. I left it for Ivy.
Ooh, that's
Okay.
good.
Ivy was supposed to keep it.
So she didn't, and I found it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. So I reached in there and I tried it. And I don't usually like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I love Golden Grams. And this is like a mix in between. And oh my gosh, they were so good. And my kids devoured them. Like, they were like, can I have all, like, the younger three totally devoured them. And I'm like, okay. And I can't find them anywhere. There's no store around here that sells them.
Yeah, it's very difficult to find.
Hmm.
It took like 6 to 8 months for Tennessee to get them once they were released to retail, and I've only found them in one place, and that's Food Lion.
Oh.
Well, I don't have a Food Lion near me.
Yeah.
So next week when I come see you, you have to have a couple of boxes for me, okay?
I will take care of that
Thank
today.
you. Awesome.
I'll say
Permission.
I live in Kentucky and I've had no trouble finding it at my local Kroger. So I mean, I can ship you guys some boxes or something like that.
Oh, you're so kind.
So generous this new kid is.
Yes, he is.
He's
Yes,
only
he
been
is.
here 5 minutes. It's amazing.
Mr. Permission, what's in your bowl?
Yeah, so I don't have the actual cereal box in front of me, but I do have the mascot to this thing because I've been eating it for the last several years, including before lockdown started. He's my good friend. His name is Buzz. Not Buzz Lightyear, but yeah, there he is. Honey
Aww.
Nut Cheerios. Be happy, be healthy. So yeah, I had a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios earlier this morning. I'm going to have 2 more when this show's done, pal, because I want to be happy, be healthy. So yeah, Buzz says hi. Yeah, he's doing quite well in this itty-bitty little box. And yeah, Honey Nut Cheerios, which is part of a complete breakfast. So if you haven't had that in a while, treat yourself. Get a box from your local grocery store, won't you?
Epic. Well, Ryan, since you're in the spotlight, tell our audience. I gave you a big wrestling style promo, but tell our audience who you are, what you do, and what your geek pop culture passion is in 30 seconds or less. Go.
Russia, right? Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. My name is Ryan. I'm the host of And I Quote on Saturdays at 12 p.m. EST, where I interview content creators of all shapes and sizes that join us from many and all corners of the nerd universe because nerds rule. And another show I do is once a month. It's with Crayley Vanest of Phoenix Sisters Cosplay. It's called Comic Books The New Class, where we introduce new comic book readers to comics and give them tips and tricks and recommendations on certain titles for certain properties and certain characters that they want to learn more about them. Hashtag always support your friends. And my fandom / nerdom is a lot of things. You know, I speak Marvel, speak a lot of DC. I speak movie quotes quite fluently, I might add. And yeah, I started reading comics 5 years ago, so I'm still a bit of a novice. So be nice to me. And yeah, I collect a whole bunch of stuff. I collect VHS tapes. I collect Blu-rays. I collect DVDs. I collect posters. I collect artwork. I mean, yeah, I'm a nerd pretty much. Yeah, I speak nerdom quite fluently. So yeah, that's pretty much the abridged version of my Eat Your Hollywood story, and I'm going to be sticking to that story. So thanks for having me, folks. It's very, very exciting to be here.
Fantastic. George, as you are eating your retro Golden Grams, tell our audience in 30 seconds who you are, what you do, what your geek pop culture passion is.
Well, I'm George Buehler, a.k.a. The Fanatic. I've been broadcasting for nearly 5-6 years now in various forms, but now I'm on my own. Love doing that. My main passion has been for the last 43 years is comic books, 100%. I'm mainly a Marvelite, but I do DC and a lot of the indies. Also a big movie fan, big TV, wrestling, video games. I'm the all-around geek. I celebrate geek culture, even if I'm not into it. You know, whatever you love, that's what I'm about. So, but yeah, I'm hardcore into comic books. That's my main thing. I just love celebrating it, spreading it to new readers, and just getting everybody into the magic.
That's fantastic. And we're glad you're here with us this morning.
Thank
as
you.
the newest member of the Cereal Box Network with his show, Fanatic Forum, on Friday nights at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. And DBRT, for people who are new to the show, who are you? What do you do? And what is your pop culture passion?
Oh, I hate it when you do this.
I know.
Well, I am an actress, photographer, and I don't know. Like, I like Friends. You're like pop culture passion. Like, I don't know. That's about it. I think you keep bringing stuff up to me
for those of you who don't know, I'm just going to introduce myself real quick. I'm John Pica. Avengers comic books and Star Wars movies made me who I am today. That's really all you need to know about me. But over the weekend, Dee Barty and I went to the ICCC con, and it's mostly a Star Wars con, which to me is oxygen, right? And Dee is not a Star Wars fan. She's not. Look, I'm gonna tell a little secret on
Nobody asked
Dee
you,
Barty.
Ryan.
We still love you, but
We still kind of like you, but I don't think I can love you right now. This is kind of hard to digest.
So Dee, why are you not a Star Wars fan? You can be honest. We had this conversation at ICCC.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I mean, I can't remember the characters' names, and I get really confused.
Yoda?
Look, Ryan.
That doesn't ring a bell. One of the most iconic characters in fictional history.
Look, Ryan. No, nobody asked you to make fun of me, okay?
Well,
I don't need that from you.
Listen,
No,
I was
but it's
picked
not
on at
just-
school for other reasons. Now it's my turn to be the bully here. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. I don't want to bully you.
But Dee, it's not
take it
just.
I'm a pacifist. I'm sorry.
But Dee, it's not just Star Wars that you're not into. She's not a comic book fan. You're not a sci-fi comic book movie fan.
I can understand that.
She's into other forms of pop culture. And we had this conversation because at ICCC, it's Star Wars fans and comic book fans everywhere. And they're all doing the very elaborate cosplay, very cool stuff.
Now, look, I do watch Mandalorian, and I kind of understand it, but it's only like 30 to 45-minute episodes, and I can really like focus on it, and I kind of for the most part I understand it.
You're
Don't ask
a
me
bite-sized fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like a snack pack fan, not like a giant all-you-can-eat buffet type fan.
Mm-hmm.
So because I've watched Mandalorian, when we went to ICCC, I saw some really awesome cosplay, and I did kind of go, whoa, that's so cool. And I did kind of nerd out a little bit because it was so lifelike, and it was really awesome to see something on screen that somebody brought to life that wasn't the actual actor. So I don't know.
Well, I can kind of get your point, Dee, because my wife, she's got a little bit of her own nerd culture that she brought to the table. Like I always tell her one of the main reasons we got married was that she knew Tron. Not only did she know the movie, she enjoyed the movie, and she grew up with it. I'm like, I've never met a woman who knows "Will you marry me tomorrow?" But she's not into Lord of the Rings. I had to kind of train her on horror movies, kind of get her accustomed to those and accustomed to gore and stuff like that. And I would kind of have to explain how they did things to kind of get the horror out of there and take the anxiety out of it. She is a deep MCU fan. I got her hardcore into those. I think she's seen Black Panther and Shang-Chi more than I have.
Jeez.
And the craziest thing, the thing I absolutely love, is I grew up loving Mad Max. Thought Fury Road was an amazing film. She's seen that movie more than I have. I mean, she's embraced that film more. I mean, it's like I grew up loving Mad Max and I got the video game, I got the comics. I'm all over the place, and here you are watching Fury Road on an average Tuesday. And I feel like I'm missing out somewhere. Like I'm not representing properly here.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
That's amazing. That's amazing. There are some of us out there who are still looking for our nerd queen. So if we find ours, hey, bless our hearts, man. I haven't
That's
found
fantastic.
her yet, so I don't know.
Well, here's what happened. So,
well, wait a minute. Before you start, let me just say there's a lot of pressure at these cons.
Yes.
To know everything.
Every little minute detail.
And people like you, Ryan, who want to nitpick at me for not knowing anything, it does not make it very easy to go to these cons. And I just have to keep it within myself and be like, hey, I'm sorry. I don't know, but I'm trying to learn. Help me learn. It doesn't go over well sometimes, and sometimes it does. So
all you gotta do is learn the ways of the forest and come with us to Dagobah. That's all.
Well, so we had this conversation because we Dee and I went off to the side, and because she was a little bit out of her element, and she said, I don't know this stuff. I don't feel like I can have conversations with these people. And I was like, no. That's what makes this great, is that you don't know, and you can ask the questions that will fuel their fandom. And because that's all they want to do is talk about the stuff that they love. And if you admit that you're not an expert and ask the questions, they'll accept you and they'll share everything you want to know. It's
share.
Yeah. Well, and fandom gets really upset. Fandom gets really upset when their newbies act like experts. We don't mind newbies not knowing anything. If someone says, hey, you know what? I'm not a Moon Knight fan. I've never heard of the character Moon Knight, so I'm confused about this. And we'll say, okay, well, here's where that comes from. It comes from this issue of the Jeff Lemire run from, 2016. If you want to get into that, go check that out. And we can, but it's someone who says, oh, Moon Knight is just trash because I don't understand it. Because I've never been in this fandom before. And, or they say, hey, I'm totally into Moon Knight. It's the greatest thing ever. And they spout off this stuff that is completely off base. That's when we as fans go, ugh, get out of our rec room. But, we love new people. And so I told Dee, it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know this stuff. And immediately she goes out and interviews an actor who was on the Daredevil Netflix show, and he excoriated her, just completely humiliated her on camera. And I was like, thanks, dude. Thanks for being such a welcoming, shining example of geekdom.
Yeah, you ruined everything that John just made me feel comfortable about.
But then after that happened, we met Adam.
Oh, Adam.
And Adam, you can see the recap of the whole weekend on our YouTube channel. We've got an ICCC, ICCC recap on our YouTube channel. And you'll see an interview with Adam, Adam came to this con thinking, okay, I've seen Star Wars. I know Star Wars is the thing, but I think maybe Star Wars is a little bit overrated. That was his attitude.
Wow.
And but Dee, he came away from the weekend with a whole look. He admitted on air, on a live podcast, that he did not know that there was an actor inside R2-D2. He didn't know. Initially, he didn't know that Anthony Daniels was actually inside the suit for C-3PO.
Never tell me the odds.
Until this weekend, and then he found out that Kenny Baker was actually the operator of R2-D2, and he was blown away. He's like, "What? There was someone in that?" And he said it with his Jamaican accent, and it was precious, and it was fun to see this light bulb moment for a new fan.
I don't want to ruin his, breaking the fourth wall there, but does he know that Wookiees and Ewoks don't exist either?
Laugh
you
it up,
sure?
Buzzball.
That's just a really tall dude in that suit. And those are also like really short people in those Ewok suits. Just. Oh, but by the way,
Warwick Davis among them. Yeah.
But Yoda is a puppet.
Yes.
Well,
even though he's
except for one scene. In one scene in Empire Strikes Back, you see him in the distance walking across the and that's what's his name? The guy from Willy Wonka, Deep. What's his first name? You know who I'm talking about. Little dude. From India. You know who
is it Felix?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's got like a weird, like Deep Roy.
Yeah, Deep Roy.
Oh, Deep Roy. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
I never knew that was him. Huh.
Yep, that's him.
Come on.
Well, hey, this is a good time to turn to some comments. We've got some comments.
Yeah, and they're coming in fast and furious.
Andrew Milden says, "Good morning, Drew Crew." No, this is the Cereal Boxers.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Drew Crew is your show. And Drew randomly shouts out, ECW, ECW.
We haven't even mentioned that yet.
And
hey, that's my good friend Gata. Hello, Gata.
Gata, how do you pronounce her last name? Ryan?
I'm not even going to try. But you know what? The bottom line is, follow her on Instagram at charm.celebration. She makes custom gift baskets.
That's fantastic. And she says this is amazing.
By the way, Johnny, for all kinds of occasions. Okay?
Well,
so if you want a Captain America themed basket, she can make it. If you want something that's Star Wars themed to introduce Deep RT to one of the greatest fandoms of all time known as Star Wars, she can do it.
Well, my wife's birthday is coming up in November, and she is a huge Twilight fan. She is a Twi mom.
There you go.
Follow
her on Instagram at charm.celebrations. Hi, Gata. Thanks for being with us. Yeah, she makes incredible, good-looking gift baskets.
Well, Gata says, this is amazing. Ryan, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being with us, Gata. And she says, we are taking the kids today to Free Comic Book Day. Yes, today is Free Comic Book Day.
There's an acronym we actually can remember.
All right.
Lovely,
George knows what I'm talking about. He knows what's going down. He knows what's going down.
Andrew Milden says, this is what happens when the rabbit or Ryan has the gun. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. I'm not a violent person. I'm just a nice guy.
Andrew says, George, nice, I want that cup so much.
Yeah. It's a good looking
It's amazing.
Cup.
Thank you. It is. Like I said, spectacular even.
You know what, George? It's real and it's spectacular.
For a minute, can we just say that for me, look, I loved the 60s, the Filmation Spider-Man. I loved Spider-Man and his amazing friends. However, the most recent spectacular Spider-Man, I think, is the finest Spider-Man cartoon series ever made.
Really?
Spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah, it was great.
Man, high praise.
It was great.
Okay, I'll check one out.
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll need to do a review because it was a Saturday morning cartoon among the last on Kids WB. Andrew Milden says, John did that for me. What he's talking about is introducing him to, ancillary material and sending him down some rabbit holes in geekdom. And Gata says, that's so true. Transparency is key. Talking about just admitting that, sometimes you don't know something. And see, I thought Ivy Roman was a big Star Wars fan. Turns out she wasn't, but I could never tell it. She just dove in there and had a great time. And I think the lesson for everyone, and Dee, I think you experienced this, was it's not about the content, it's about the company that you keep.
Oh, yeah.
And we ended up having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Ivy is logging in on the Back of the Cereal Box Network channel, says Ivy loves Vampire Diaries.
Hey, I watched that show for a couple of years.
Her and I totally bonded over that. And as soon as they have another convention, she's coming back and we're going.
That's awesome.
And you're
I
going to be
watched-
drug along with us, John. And then
Okay.
you're going to be there going, I don't know anything
Well,
about anything. And we're going to be like,
no,
yeah.
no. That's not true. Now, I did not watch the Vampire Diaries, but I did watch the originals. And I did watch, I've started on Descendants.
You mean Legacies?
Legacies. Descendants is the Disney show.
Wrong studio there, pal.
But because I love vampires. I'm not.
Did you
that
read
doesn't
the
sound
book?
creepy at all.
Because I read the books.
Oh,
so DBRT has one up on me because I've
She
only
is
seen
a
the television
super
series,
fan.
not the book. I haven't read the books.
The books, the TV show totally veered way far away from the books, which was kind of annoying. But
That's the TV show's job.
yeah, well, I mean, just completely different story. Ended different. Like it was not cool. But anyway,
now
You got
George.
upset.
Ivy Roman says Ivy wants that Spider-Man cup too. I think
everybody wants that cup.
This is getting a lot of love. Amazon.
Yeah. Gata says my son is
Hey.
big on Spider-Man.
There you
So
go.
is
Nothing wrong
mine.
with that, Gata.
we
Nothing
love
wrong with that at all.
Spider-Man.
And Gata says her gift baskets come with colored shrink wrap.
That's very true.
And being a vampire fan, so am I, says Gata.
My goodness.
We're
And
going to have to do
Ivy-
a vampire show, John.
Well,
Yeah,
you
maybe
know what?
Gata should come on here. Maybe she should be your special guest, DBRT.
We
like
might need to
that.
talk about that. So
Yeah.
Ivy says it's about the hard work and the art, talking about conventions and events.
I can agree
So,
with that. I
yeah.
can agree with that.
Yeah, so everybody go check out our recap of ICCC.
CCCC.
Boom. Now,
That's my
Guys-
job, Ryan.
when we were kids, by the way, chocolate caramel Captain Crunch is chocolatey delicious.
My kids begged me to buy that this weekend.
Really?
This is one of the most amazing
I
cereals.
did not.
Listen, I'm just going to say Quaker Oats, who makes Captain Crunch, they make
Oh, yes.
Quist, they make oatmeal squares and a couple of
Mhm.
others. Their product is such high quality.
Really?
It's so delicious. I don't know that it's healthy, but I mean,
None of this
It's
is
only
healthy.
it's only 150 calories per 1 cup serving. So,
Who eats a cup of cereal?
I know,
that's-
seriously,
that's-
who does that?
Like
Great
an
question.
actual cup.
I do.
Who does
this
that?
is a
Yeah,
cup.
but you're weird.
I
You know
measure
what?
it out.
For once in my life, I'm going to agree with DBRT on this. That is weird.
Well, after
Why
we
are you
enjoy
gonna
the
pick on me,
cereal,
Dave?
after
too
we
early for
enjoy the
this.
cereal on Saturday mornings, we reach into the cereal box and pull out the prize inside, or in this case, for this show, it's called New Loot.
Woo!
And let's see what we
Oh,
got.
yes, I do have some
inside
new loot for this week.
the box.
What's in the box? That did not come out of the box.
Sure it did.
Absolutely not. That is
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
physically
sure it did.
possible.
Well, I'm the impossibilist, Ryan.
That is
He's
true.
a magician. So,
So,
you know,
It's
he made
magic,
it happen.
folks.
So this is
What is that?
awesome.
Is that a box within a box within a box like Inception?
Kind of.
Ooh.
Kind of. So there's stuff inside here that I got to get out first.
Goodness,
So-
Inception's a good movie, by the way.
So
Yes,
you
it is.
guys
I will
may-
agree.
You guys may or may not know that we at Back of the Cereal Box, one of the things we love to do at conventions is
yes.
Hot Wheel races. And
Oh, really?
I sometimes take Hot Wheel track. I have about 100 feet of Hot Wheels tracks. And
Good.
we set up, the ramp and we race them, and we donate money to charity, like you can sponsor a car and whatnot. Well, Blake Wilson, who was with us on Saturday at ICCC,
Mhm.
he's kind of part of the back of the scenes crew for Back of the Cereal Box. He's the most generous person I've ever met.
He
loves-
is precious.
He loves giving gifts. He came with a backpack full of snacks, Scooby snacks, Dunkaroos, and fun-sized mini boxes of cereal to give out, and followed the girls around and made sure that they were safe and well fed. But
Because that's
He-
important to me.
yeah,
It is,
he
isn't it?
brought this to me, and here's what this is. This is
Oh my
a
goodness.
Hot Wheels
That's
Look at
so
that.
cool.
racetrack
Oh
that
my
folds
goodness.
out. So you set it down, and it's got the thing right here. You put the car,
Yes.
and then there. Well, I just lost it, but there are these flags that come down, and so when you race
That's
them,
cool.
they hit the flags, and the flags will pop up, and so you know who won, right? So
Oh yeah.
here, I'm just gonna do this. So the car goes here.
Mhm.
This could be really dangerous. It's going into the laptop, and you put the cars on, and so that popped up, showing me that number 3 was the winner, and I'm all tangled in the cords here.
That's cool.
That
So
sounds like a lot of fun.
it is, and that car just went, the Gotham police car just went in the bowl of the cereal milk.
Ooh, man. Okay.
Now
Let's
the
clean
car-
that bowl out, folks.
Now there's a Dunkaroo for you.
Yes,
No,
it
no,
is.
George, don't you mean it's Dunkaroos?
So we've got this that can be the tabletop racing rig. So
Let's
we
do
don't
it.
have to set up 100 feet of track, and it just all folds up in on itself, just like this,
That's cool.
with a handy
That's really
carry
neat.
case, and the cars go inside. So that's super awesome.
Let's play that next week. That'd be fun.
Well, we can do that. And he also bought me a pack of cars with it, including a Harley Quinn
Mm.
Hot Wheel. So now I can race as Harley Quinn. Let's see what else. We got a Batmobile.
I'm Batman. Absolutely.
The Gotham police car that just went in the drink, and a Joker mobile. It's a Joker El Camino,
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
which I think is probably apropos for the Joker to have an El Camino.
You would drive a hatch, with a half and half like that. Yeah.
Now, so Blake also went to Ollie's, which is a magical place. If you don't have an Ollie's near you, you've got to find one. And he got me some add-on accessories, a jump ramp, a loop-de-loop,
Oh my
and
goodness.
what else is this? This is a ramp into the bucket. So when you're racing them, they land in the bucket, and you just put the lid back in the bucket, and on you go.
Wow.
So
Well,
it
now we
cleans
know.
itself
Where
up.
does he get those wonderful toys? We know where he gets them.
Ollie's. That's right.
Good stuff, cheap.
That's
Isn't that right,
fantastic.
Johnny? Good
That's
stuff,
right.
cheap.
That is
Hey,
right.
look, the fur baby's on George's camera. Look at that.
Oh,
Look at that fur baby. Rare. Yeah, I
This is
prefer cats
Pepper.
and dogs anyway. Yeah, we'll get along famously here, George.
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
Pepper.
All my girls have very interesting names. This is Pepper Marie Potts.
Oh, I understood that reference. That's great.
And then I also have Iris West Allen and Carol Ann.
If,
And Carol
man,
Ann's
if
are
that's not
black.
nerdy enough, I don't know what is.
Carol Ann.
Yeah, and Carol Ann's our black cat. And she is, Carol Ann is very extra. So when she gets extra, we call her Carl. So
That's phenomenal. Love the cat. All right, so here's the biggest
It's amazing.
thing that happened at ICC Con.
Oh my.
DBRT got some new loot.
I know, and I was hoping Melissa was going to be here, so I'm only going to show one because. Oh, which one?
She got an armful.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right. Well, D, in the words of our good friend the Grail Knight, you must choose wisely. Okay. All right. Hey, it's Star Wars. I'll take it.
Well,
I will
it's
take it.
Mandalorian, and I'm like, hey,
This is the way.
you know what was funny? So my son, who watches Mandalorian with me, he's 5.
Aw.
He came in and he was like, "Are those for me?" And I had to break his heart and be like, "Nope,
No,
they're mine."
they're all mine.
So I have to show you something else, okay? So Ivy and I, this is so ridiculous. Ivy and I went to the mall and they had
Ivy Roman.
Yes,
who
they had.
flew down from New York to be with us at ICCCon. We got to fill the audience in. They might not know who Ivy is.
Okay, well, she stayed with me, so I went and showed her the big mall that we have here, and they had where you could take a picture and get your picture on like a comic book cover.
Oh, cool.
It's not cool.
Oh, really?
You see how I look, right?
Oh.
Tell me why I look 70 in this freaking thing. Look at this.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a friend.
Hey, being on a comic book cover is
traveling down the road and back again.
Being on a comic book cover is every nerd's dream. So the fact that you got to experience that makes me a little bit jello of you.
Look,
right now,
this is the second. This is the second picture that we did. Look at this. I'm sorry, I do not look like this. Like, this is not helping me not wanting to age process. I'm like, what the heck? Why do I look 70?
Well, as a wise person once said, D, age is just a number. It doesn't matter.
This is not.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Age is just a simple number.
Oh, that's funny.
Listen, we're all going to be 25 for the rest of our lives. No one's going to age around here, so it's all good.
Well, as long as I don't look like this.
Well,
sure.
Hey, I'm
Ryan,
46.
There's
So
always
there you
next
go.
time.
Well, see, I don't age. I level up. But
I think
Ryan, eventually you are going to get to the place that George and I are, where you think everybody is the same age that you are.
That's true.
Have you experienced this yet, George? You just...
Well, I mean, I kind of, I've got a kind of a wide swath of people that are all different age groups. I often get mistaken for being younger than I actually am. But I tell people this is what no kids looks like.
Okay.
So, child free does,
This is what 5 kids looks like.
I got 5 kids.
What was that in the background? I misunderstood that.
Yeah, I mean, but my wife and I, we chose to have cats, not children, though the cats are our children.
To each their own.
Yeah, so but I mean, we have nieces and nephews that I spoil the heck out of.
Yes.
So, matter of fact, my sister basically just cloned me, so I didn't have to have a son; that she had it for me, and she cloned herself and her daughter. So it's awesome. I basically just have I have a 15-year-old me running around.
Really?
Gata,
yeah, it's great.
Gata just posted a comment, says, they say the older we get, the younger we look. That's a lie.
I don't know.
I don't know,
think
man.
Men are more defined with age. I am not.
I'm twice the age that people mistake me for, and it's like, dude, no, I'm that age. It's like, really? I'm like, yeah.
You're not 15?
No, I'm not 15. Believe it or not, I'm actually 34, Johnny.
Yeah, no, when I first met you, I thought you were like late teens.
Yeah, I have that youthful look, even though I got a Scruffy McGruffin looking beard right now. But don't worry, that'll be gone tomorrow morning.
Oh, you've got the Jamie from Progressive beard.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I do. I don't know. I guess.
Oh, that was kind of cold-hearted.
Probably went over my head, but whatever.
Oh,
I'm in my mid-30s here, George. Sue me. It's all good.
No, I was just that was just a kind of burn. That was a little.
Oh my goodness.
Glenn B. Fleming is here, and he says, I'm 67, but I look 66. That's fantastic.
Make sure you check out Glenn B. Fleming's stuff on Amazon. He's got a ton of great works up there, man.
Yeah, his new Jack Kirby book is phenomenal.
Yeah, which I'm waiting on right now, Glenn. I don't know if I've gotten it yet. I haven't checked the mail this morning, but I'm very much looking forward to watching the documentary as well as reading the book. And then I'm going to have you on the show, and I'll give you my 5-cent review. With you on the show. So if it's good or bad, you're going to hear about it regardless.
You said the magic words, Jack Kirby.
Listen, I don't know much about Jack Kirby. I've heard the name a million times in my life, but I never read any of his stuff until now, which I'm in the process of doing.
Boom! See, this is what we're talking about, D. Ryan is a comic book nerd, but he's a new novice nerd, and so he's not familiar with the king of comics. Here's George and I would.
Well, I need to brush out so I can make fun of him like he is of me with the.
Go right ahead. You want to make fun of me, D-Bar-T? You go right on ahead.
I wouldn't because I'm not that kind of person. So.
Well, here's the thing, Ryan. Kirby's art is so iconic with when basically associated with Marvel. You may have already seen some of his art and not known you've actually seen Kirby art.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Kirby art,
Yes.
George or Ryan, either of you guys have some new loot to show off this week?
I do.
Actually, I do. I do.
Well, George, go first. What do you got?
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, I showed this off on my show last night, but I want to share it with you guys as well. But I had pre-ordered this and have been waiting 10 long months. But I just really have to ask the question, what is best in life?
Uh-huh.
I think I understood that. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and then the limitation of the women.
Yes. See, there have been several of these Conan the Barbarian Ultimates figures. Sorry, the laptop light's reflecting off here. But they've released several different ones, these from the movie. Like there's the pit fighter, there's the flowing hair, swinging the Atlantean sword on the beach Conan. They've released some of the bad guys like Thulsa Doom. But the two I've been waiting on were the Thulsa Doom that has like partially transformed into a snake and Conan in the war paint. Because Conan the Barbarian was basically the first R-rated film I saw when I was 8 years old at a thing called a drive-in. And I was a huge Conan fan. Yeah, I was a huge Conan fan, grew up with the Robert E. Howard books and the Marvel comics. So when the movie came out, I'm like, yes, please, that. Not knowing what I was going to be getting myself into with a lot of bloodshed, a lot of nudity. So it was quite the array of visual experience.
You've got my attention.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I was not prepared for what this is going to be. Of course, it was 18 levels of awesome. Conan the Barbarian's always been one of my favorite films, especially as a comic book film. And so, I had to get this particular figure because one of my favorite scenes of the movie.
That is epic.
Yeah, that's great. There's blood on the sword. There's a little bit of blood on him and everything. So,
D, what is your favorite Conan movie or Conan moment?
It's okay, D. You and I are in the same boat.
Ryan, what kind of new loot do you got for us? Share away, my brother.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you really? Okay.
It's Arnold. Look, it's Arnold.
This is what some of us are here for. So before I show off this new loot, I just want to preface this by saying I tried watching the original Schwarzenegger Conan the Barbarian, and I got 30 minutes into it, and I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. Just didn't really do it for me, so I turned it off. But did see the Jason Momoa remake or reboot of Conan the Barbarian. I thought that wasn't that much better, but at the same time, it was good. I think it was all right. It was all right. Pre-Aquaman, slicing and dicing people through the streets of whatever. And I haven't read any of the Conan the Barbarian comics yet, so I guess I got more experience.
I've got 4 words for you, Ryan. Brigitte Nielsen, Red Sonja.
I should probably look that up later.
Yes,
but because I've heard the name, by the way, just so you know. But anyway, this new loot that
I
I got.
think you will enjoy that immensely. At least I did.
Okay, well, I will have to look into that. Thank you very much for the
Beastmaster
in the back, exactly in the backstage area. So I went to my local comic shop this week. Okay, and they sold these things called back issue bundles, where it's like sets of issues of comics.
Yeah,
I normally don't buy these, but I figured, what the hey, it's a
great value.
Mini-series set. Just to be clear, this is 4 issues. This is from DC. It's called Sword of the Atom.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
what a great run.
Yeah, right here from Alternate Worlds in my neck of the woods of where was this? This was in Cockeysville, Maryland, where near where I live. It's about a 15-minute drive from here, just to be clear. And I figured, you know what? This looks cool. I like swords. I really like swords, and it says Sword of the Atom on it. I have a little bit of familiarity with the Atom as a character, so I figured, what the hey? It's DC, because I'm more of a DC fan than a Marvel fan. No offense. I like both, but I'm more DC than Marvel. Sorry, George.
No problem.
But Sword of the Atom. I figured, what the hey? I got nothing to lose. And it's 4 issues, too, so I can get through it in like 3 minutes.
Well, and you're going to love that. That is one of the seminal defining runs and character stories that define who the Atom is. So you're going to love that. It's great.
Yeah, by Gil Kane and Jan Stranad, if I'm saying that right.
Listen, Gil Kane is one of the greatest writers to ever write a comic book story. You're in for a great, great time. Bravo, Ryan. Good choice.
Yeah, and Ryan, I even think I commented on your post when you initially got that set that, I always loved when DC would get weird with some of their tentpole characters, like just a different take on them, a little something different. Like when Mike Grell took over Green Arrow and started doing like the Longbow Hunters. That's one to check out, by the way.
Oh, okay. We want to write that one down.
Yeah. But basically like the Sword of the Atom is a little bit of a different change for the Ray Palmer character. Mm-hmm. And I wish they would have done a little bit more with what they did with it. But very cool.
I think this is the first comic bundle I ever bought too.
Really? First comic book bundle. That's awesome. DBRT, what is your favorite Atom story or Gil Kane story?
Seriously, I'm leaving.
No, because we've got another segment. What's on the tube? Because Saturday mornings we're about breakfast cereal, digging the prize out of the box, and watching Saturday morning cartoons. And I sent an assignment to everyone. And DBRT, did you do the assignment?
I didn't get the assignment.
Oh my gosh!
I sent it twice.
I didn't get anything.
Wow.
Twice.
The only thing I got was the preview for the thing that I was like, what?
Hashtag awkward.
Twice. No. Hashtag this happens every Saturday. This needs to be its own segment.
No, so wait, he needs to send it to me directly because everybody starts talking on a thread and I somehow miss it.
I think DMs are more appropriate for certain instances.
Well, see, but then
are you aware I was on the Daredevil Netflix show?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, George was on it too, you know. Did you know that?
Hey, look, I'll crush your ego too, dude.
We are talking about in the next few minutes the 1985 classic cartoon Mighty Orbots, and I'm willing to bet
I wouldn't have watched that anyway, John.
Well, that's okay. But Nathan would have loved this. And I'm willing to bet, Ryan Permisson, that you never watched the Mighty Orbots or had heard of it before I gave this assignment.
No, I never heard of it, but I did watch the pilot episode that you sent us. Well, some of us got anyway.
Yes. And so the Mighty Orbots is about a team of Orbots invented by the blonde-haired guy in the center. What was his name? Robbie. And Robbie was kind of this Clark Kent Superman type character in that he was just this kind of nerdy, geeky, mild-mannered robotics guy. But when danger calls, he transformed into a commander of Star Command.
He gets a makeover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he commands the Mighty Orbots, which there are 5 of them. Let's see. I forgot to pull up my notes on the characters. I think this is Lort.
Tor.
Lort is the thin one here, in blue, and Crunch is the Metal Eater. Lort is kind of a shape changer. And then you have the 2 female robots. And this was unique for this series and this time. You had, what was it? Boo and
Bop, was it? Or
yeah, Boo and Bop.
Yeah.
And then their little sister was Ono.
Oh, no.
Yeah. She's here at the end, the little pink. So you had 3 female robots, and this series was created as a response to Voltron and some of the other, Japanese imported shows, but mostly Transformers and Voltron, and they would all combine to form one giant Mighty Orbot. And you guys, I got to tell you, DBRT is just looking at us like we are the weirdest people on the planet.
That's true.
But
it's accurate, yeah.
This is in my top 5 favorite Saturday morning cartoons of all time.
Cool.
Wow.
I watched this show
amazing
religiously for the entire 13 episodes that aired. I could not wait to get up on Saturday mornings to watch the Orbots. And it had two things going against it. One, it kept getting moved around at time slots on Saturday mornings. So it was never at the same time. But then they were sued into oblivion by the GoBots.
Yep.
This was produced by... Yeah. Because
there's a lot of robots on television, apparently.
Well,
the GoBots aren't anything like the Mighty Orbots.
No, they're not. The GoBots, though, had a byline on their toys that said, Mighty Robots, Mighty Adventures. And so they said Mighty Robots and Mighty GoBots. Orbots. Mighty Robots and Mighty Orbots are too similar in that it would confuse audiences. Even though it says GoBots, Mighty Robots, Mighty Orbots would confuse audiences. And they
because kids can't read
episodes. And the only toys they ever produced, actually, were only available overseas in Japan.
Oh.
However, there was another company that created a character called God Mars DX, which is basically the same mold as the Mighty Orbots toy. And then there's now 3D printed plans for the Mighty Orbots character called Jumbo Robert. But
so much for a Jumbo Coke. We're going to get Jumbo Robert.
But here's where it gets really cool. Hasbro released a line of Transformers and Decepticons modeled after the Orbots.
Whoa.
Yes. So you can actually get the Orbots in Transformer form.
Wow. Hashtag.
Even though the Tor doesn't look much like Tor, he doesn't have enough red on him.
No, he doesn't. But we know who he is, and we know who the other four are.
Yeah, the other four look great.
Yeah,
well, the diehard fans know who they are. DBRT and I are like, what are they talking about?
Well,
I do like Transformers though, so I could get behind that.
Well,
yeah,
see,
I like Transformers to a degree.
Kind of like you guys. Strangely enough, I was familiar with the open of the show. As soon as it started, I'm like, oh, I remember this. But I never watched the show. So I don't know how I knew the intro, but I wasn't familiar with the show itself. So it was a new experience for me as well. And I enjoyed it.
So Ryan, what did you think of Mighty Orbots?
Right. So the pilot episode that some of us were subjected to watch for this week. So here's the thing. I like the theme song. I like the colors and how they use. What was that, D?
I feel like that was a shot.
No.
At me.
That was my poor attempt at being funny, even though it landed pretty flat here on the cutting room board. But here's the deal. I like the theme song to this show. I like the colors, the vibrancy of the colors that they use on the characters and whatnot. But other than that, I didn't really care much for this, honestly. Granted, this is a bit before my time. That's number one, so it's a generational thing. Number two, the female robots were attracted to these band guys right here, the ones who like play the saxophone and the guitar and all that. And they were talking about, oh, we're gonna go out on dates with them, and oh, they make me so, what? Like they were basically trying to say they make us in certain terms without going into PG-13 or R-rated, intimacy terms.
They were tap dancing on that landmine.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a kid's show, so you can't really say certain words or phrases to alienate the audience. So
we knew what they were talking about.
Exactly. But you know what I mean here, George? Like they were like crazy for these dudes. And I'm thinking, robots having intimate relations with other robots?
Well,
I don't see how that works. Period.
And other robots being jealous of those robots.
But that was a big plot point, right? Was that the world that this is taking place in, robots are commonplace. They are almost citizens. They're like droids in Star Wars, and George, you will understand this reference. This show reminded me a lot of DC's Metal Men. Yeah,
definitely. Also, I have to ask the evil band in this: do they predate Cold Slither, or are they maybe influenced by Cold Slither?
I am not familiar with Cold Slither.
Well, I get to be the purveyor of pop culture for this one. Cold Slither was the fake band that Cobra, basically, it was Zartan and the Dreadnoks, portrayed in the G.I. Joe cartoon for an episode. And they had a whole look and a song, and they were really cool. Cold Slither was awesome. If they were a real band, I would have totally gone and see them. Well, they were basically sending like, subliminal messages, all that kind of jazz, very similar to our bad guys here, controlling people with the music. Well, then G.I. Joe finally comes in and interrupts, and really all they do is like a rock and roll version of their own theme song. So Cold Slither had all this great creativity. They are songwriters, they're original performers, and G.I. Joe just a bunch of rip-off artists, but they still save the day.
Well, I am going to dare say that Mighty Orbots probably drew influence from that, because the show was produced by a guy named Fred Silverman. And if Fred Silverman's name sounds familiar to anyone, D, do you know who Fred Silverman was?
No.
Fred Silverman is the guy who imported Voltron and Battle Chase, Starship. It wasn't Battle Chasers, Star Chasers.
Yeah, Star Chasers. Yeah.
And when the reason he produced this show was because he was importing Voltron, but Voltron came to the United States in fragmented pieces. And they actually constructed it for U.S. audiences. He also is the guy who brought in Speed Racer and Battle of the Planets, Gotchaman. And so this was his first wholly created project specifically for American audiences.
Really?
But, yeah.
Because this still looks like it was like had a Japanese release and then was repurposed for American audiences.
It was created by the animation studio Intermedia Entertainment, MGA United Artists Television, but it was directed by Osamu Dezaki.
Yeah.
Who is a really well-known and well-respected anime director.
Big guy.
And but it was created by Silverman and Dezaki, with character designs by Akio Sugino. And it was on for 13 episodes in 1984. And, it was intentionally designed to have that Japanese animation look, but with American stylization. And that's where you got such that just beautiful, sleek, fluid animation in the opening sequence. It wasn't the same kind of frame rate that Japanese animation has that gives John headaches and sends him into epileptic seizures.
It reminded me a lot of some of the animation from the Transformers movie.
Yes. And all of that was intentional.
More than meets the eye.
Silverman wanted to capitalize on the popularity of the Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Voltron, but create something that was uniquely American. And we got Mighty Orbots and then sued into oblivion by Tonka over GoBots.
That just doesn't seem right.
At least it got itself a proper ending, because I read that Mighty Orbots was one of the few shows in history to ever get like a definite series finale. Everything ended on a cliffhanger. They didn't say, "Oh, the enemy escaped. We'll be back next week." No, we won't, because you got yourself canceled. You're done, son. Your time is up.
But you're right. That's extremely unique, especially for an animated show, to have a definitive ending.
13 episodes, and it had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Thank goodness, because I'm so much looking forward to not watching this show ever again. Sorry,
Ryan,
it's not my thing. It's not my flavor of the week, pal. Doesn't work.
Yes, all of the episodes are available on YouTube, but you can get the complete series on DVD and now Blu-ray, which is, I'm not going to admit whether or not it is or is not in my wish list on Amazon. But anyway, Orbots. Yeah. D, what did you think about Mighty Orbots?
I thought it was, I don't know, I didn't watch it.
Yay! Guess what, D? You're not missing much.
Well, okay, so I'm going to disagree with Ryan. I love the show. not
So
only
I'm
do I
going to go
think
ahead and say that I would probably not like it since you
Mhm.
loved it because we seem to not like the same
no,
thing.
that's not true. I love
Yes, it
Mandalorian.
is.
No, I love Mandalorian.
That's because it's a Star Wars thing.
That's right. Dave Mattingly says DBRT thinks you're the weird people on the planet. She
I
needs
never
to get
said
out
that.
more. I said that.
Oh yeah, see, don't put words in. No, I never said that.
This is a polite way to say Dave Mattingly says the robots are fully functional.
Yeah, I don't see how that. I just can't get with that in my brain. So it's like, yeah, I can't watch this. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
That's funny.
Dave coming in clutch, buddy.
Hey,
Yep.
listen, he was on our chat earlier in the week when we celebrated the 10th anniversary of the Avengers. And he
Yeah.
chimes in at the very end. He said, because he gave us his resume of all the things he's done in his life, whether it's working for this, working for that, and doing this and doing that. And then he says, that's my secret, Ryan. I'm always nerdy. And I'm like, oh, nice use of the Hulk line. I like it.
Way to
Dave
bring it home,
Mattingly
really.
is the smartest guy I have ever met.
His resume speaks for itself.
Yeah. And if you come to Imaginarium, you'll meet Dave Mattingly, and I'll be there with him, and we have a great time. And love Dave. He's a great guy, and smartest guy on the planet.
We should get together and hang out one day.
For our fans watching,
That should happen.
I want to ask
We'll
you
do
guys to continue to post comments on what you think about Mighty Orbots. And I had every intention on my outline that I did not send you guys of just having a quick 30-second. We'll do this real quick because we're over the hour, but quick 30-second. If you've seen Moon Knight or Doctor Strange 2, or this is your choice, Moon Knight, Doctor Strange 2, or Kenobi trailer, 30-second review of what you thought. Starting with Ryan Permisson, your choice, go.
Wow.
By the way, we call this matinee mini bites.
All right, I'm going with I haven't seen either any of these three. I'm sorry, I haven't seen these movies, haven't seen the series. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Moon Knight because it's a character I'm not overly familiar with. I want to learn more about him and his universe and what he's all about. I know he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I know that much. But I'm very much there's a cereal box reference, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. We've all heard that before, right? DBRT, let's go.
I've heard it.
I'm going with Moon
you.
Knight because I got a Marvel Epic Collection Shadows of the Moon paperback in my collection that I need to read before I see the show if I can. So yeah, I'm going with Moon Knight because Doctor Strange looks way too many rings short of Saturn. And what was the third one? Kenobi trailer.
Kenobi
very
trailer.
very skeptical and very very cautiously going in to see that show because I'm not completely sold on Kenobi at all. But I'm still going to watch it when it comes out because I'm very, very skeptical and very cautious. But out of the three,
you and me are together on that, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
George, 30 seconds, go.
I've seen all three. I'm going to cover all three. The Kenobi trailer gave me special tingles. I'm looking real forward to this one. I think it's going to be a very cerebral sort of show, really delving deep into what he was up to in those years while Luke was growing up. The Moon Knight finale, I was very pleased with. I'm a longtime Moon Knight fan. The little stinger scene at the end made the whole series for me. The Doctor Strange movie, loved. I am deep Marvel fan, so a lot of the multiversal reference, a lot of the stuff that goes on in there, loved all that. And this is 100% a Sam Raimi movie. So if you are a Sam Raimi fan, go see this. Even if you don't know anything about Doctor Strange, it's a Sam Raimi horror movie and has all the Sam Raimi Easter eggs you want.
Epic. DBRT, have you seen any of these three things to comment on? Not even the Kenobi trailer. All right.
No, but I saw somebody review it and I thought it was weird. The review was weird because I was like, I don't understand it. But I am excited to see the Doctor Strange movie because I like the first one. So I'm excited.
That's a good point.
All right.
That's all I got.
All right.
And I don't know who Moon Knight is.
Hey, I don't know much about him either, but I look forward to learning more.
Well, Moon Knight is among my top 5 favorite Marvel characters. I am a huge Moon Knight fan, so I went into this series super excited. I loved the entire series. It did all of the things for me that I wanted it to do. As a fan of the Warren Ellis and Jeff Lemire run on Moon Knight, it hit all of the right touch points while putting its own MCU twist on the mythos. Yeah, loved every minute of it. Doctor Strange 2, I will say this about Moon Knight. For me, it was the best of the MCU Disney Plus shows, the best of the MCU shows.
Interesting.
Period. I'm going to call it a masterpiece of character development and character analysis.
High praise.
Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. I'm going to see it again tomorrow. I felt like it is maybe the top of the middle of the pack of Marvel movies. It was not what I expected, so that's why I need to see it again. I felt like it started with the climax of the story, and just it was 2 hours of the resolution, the climax of the film. So it was just go from beginning to end. I did love certain appearances, one appearance in particular by another top 5 Marvel character. No spoilers. However, I did feel like, and on paper, this movie, I should have loved this movie by the way that I felt about it. I felt like it was a 1990s Marvel Saturday morning cartoon show. That's the feeling it had for me. Had I known that going in, I think I would have enjoyed it more. That's why I think now I know what to expect. Sunday, I might have a completely different opinion, but I just thought it was okay. I wasn't blown away by it. It was decent, but I'm going to see it again. Kenobi trailer, Ryan, you and I are on the same page. I am not an Obi-Wan Kenobi fan. I've always thought he was the manipulative douchebag of the Star Wars universe. And so a series about
it's
him,
from a certain point of view.
Yeah, that's what everybody
everyone
says.
gives that excuse. I mean, listen, I'm still a Kenobi fan, but at the same time, it's like, why do we need a Kenobi show? Did anyone ask for that? No. Did anyone ask for a Han Solo movie? No. Did we get him anyway? Yes, because the studios aren't listening to me. Gosh.
Well, but the Han Solo movie turned out to be pretty fun.
Nah, I wouldn't.
It was pretty good. I liked it
I
a
would
lot.
not go that far.
But Kenobi,
Completely
I
unnecessary.
don't need to see a story that takes place during the 20 years where he was trying to figure out how he could be even more of a manipulative douchebag.
I wouldn't go that far. He was just a strange old hermit. That wizard.
No, he was an outright liar.
I don't think he was a liar.
Lied to a farm boy, to a teenage kid, to get him to do what he wanted him to do.
Look, if you tell a kid who's got all these dreams,
she loves this conversation.
She loves this.
If you tell a farm boy who dreams of greater things and wants to be a hero just like his dad was, oh, your dad wasn't a hero. He's the worst person in the galaxy and killed all my friends and coworkers and little children. He's terrible. Don't be like him. How's that going to work for you?
It's a good question.
So, D. Barty, he's talking about Darth Vader.
I don't know if you know who that is. But...
Believe it or not, I gathered that.
Okay.
I got that reference.
I like Kenobi as a character, but I'm just not sold on him as a series. That's all.
Yeah, I hate him as a character.
Wow. Okay, we got some haters in the house. Okay.
For me, Kenobi and C-3PO, I wish they were just gone from the Star Wars universe.
Really?
Yeah.
You hate 3PO? Even though he's the one who taught us that successfully surviving an asteroid field is approximately 3,721.
Help me. I hated him.
See, I wouldn't remove 3PO because if you remove 3PO, R2 as the grumpy old dude who is like tired of 3PO's stuff and knows what has to get done, that doesn't make it as much fun. You need the two together.
They are kind of the grumpy old men of the Star Wars universe.
But I mean, they're Oscar and Felix.
Yeah. They really are. That's a good point. Yeah. All right, so we got to go here, but Dave Mattingly says, John, top of the middle sounds about where I'd put Strange 2. And Comics Cade, Saturday Morning Comics, just jumped in, says, hiya, friends. Happy Saturday. Hiya, Cade. Make sure you go back, Cade, and watch this episode so that you can see our assessment and discussion about the Mighty Orbots.
Go, Mighty Orbots.
It's a cool theme song, I'll give you that.
Make sure you check out Saturday Morning Comics on YouTube. Comicscade does a great show. He's a cool dude.
Yes.
All right, guys, we have got to wrap this up because we're over an hour. Every
Already?
week I say we're going to keep it at an hour, but it just flies by.
Because we're having too much fun.
We really are. We are. Really
I don't know
are.
about Dee. She's probably not having as much fun as we are, but hey, it's all good.
I could do this all day. I can do this all day.
I understood that reference.
Yeah. 3PO was the mayor's major domo from Boba Fett of the Droidverse. That's true. That is correct. Yep, I agree with that. And Dee's like, why? I don't know.
What are you talking
I have
about?
no idea what you just said.
She's like, I gotta go. Okay.
I assure you that's English.
Dee's thinking, I got better things to do with my time than spend an hour with these clowns.
I mean,
She's already done an hour. Hey, I want to remind everyone that we are part of the Cereal Box Network, which also includes Fanatic Forum and Comic Books, The New Class.
Yes.
And check that out at cerealboxnetwork.com. Before we go, I've got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Hitchhiker Toys. Come on down to Hitchhiker Toys in White House, Tennessee, where we've got toys for all ages. Action figures galore like DC and Marvel characters. We've got Star Wars toys and accessories. And of course, your favorite pro wrestling action figures. Check out our huge selection of Funko Pops, along with a selection of graded Pokemon cards, vintage board games and puzzles, Hot Wheels, Matchbox cars. We've got plush toys and a great selection of Barbie and fashion toys. And if you've got some old toys laying around, bring them to us. We buy, sell, and trade, and no collection is too big or too small. Hitchhiker Toys is located conveniently at 141 Edenway Drive, Suite A in White House, Tennessee, 37188. Turn by the subway, and we're located in the shopping center between White House Nutrition and White House Produce. You can't miss us. Hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 6, Sunday, 12 to 5, and closed on Monday. Make sure to visit us at hitchhikertoys.com. We love those guys, and DBRT and I will be there live next Saturday from 12 to 3. Come on out and see our live show. I will be doing some live magic. DBRT will be eating a bunch of cereal that she's never tried before. And we are going to have a great time at Hitchhiker Toys. So if you're in the Middle Tennessee area, come see us live. We're going to have so much fun. And Ryan Permisson, tell everyone where they can find you.
That is an excellent question, good sir. Thanks for having me. I greatly appreciate it. This was fun. DBRT, we're still friends. It's cool. Just because you don't like Star Wars doesn't mean we can't be friends.
okay.
So here's the deal. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. There's a link. My link tree's on there. You can find out more about my show, And I Quote, which is on Saturdays at 12 p.m. EST. I do another show with a great group of friends called This Week in the Schmodown, where we talk about all things going down in the movie trivia Schmodown, the best thing in sports entertainment today that drops during the course of each week. So be sure to check it out. That's linked on my link tree. And Comic Books, The New Class. A new episode will be coming up in a few weeks with Crayley Van Est, one half of Phoenix Sisters Cosplay, # support your friends. And myself, and we are going to have a styling and profiling good time by introducing new readers to the wonderful and magical world of comic books. So stay tuned for that. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Phenomena.
Wow. George, where can people find you? Follow that. I dare you.
I mean, I was going to go low key. You can follow me at Fanatic Forum on Facebook and on the YouTube, or just check out Back of the Cereal Box. Follow that, and you can find my show Fate on there. And we talk about comic books, we talk movies, TV, wrestling, all kinds of geeky, nerdy stuff that just happens to come across. So it's a good time.
And DBRT, where can people find you on the interwebs?
dbartphoto.com, dbartphoto on Instagram, dbartphoto on Facebook. And
Wow, you've got the whole branding thing going there.
little
Bravo.
bit.
And you can find me at johnpica.com and connect to me at all the places and all the things. And guys, we are going to sign off with recognizing one of our partners, Comic Books for Kids. So everyone on the show, thank you for being here. Thank you guys for watching. And until the next time, we love you, mean it. We'll catch you on the back of the cereal box.
See you guys.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.